say some things, and then we'll have media ask some questions.
Yeah, everybody I spoke to beforehand, because I've never actually played here. When I was with Stanford, we never played at Pitt, and we haven't played Pitt since I arrived at Cornell. But everybody that I've spoken with said it's a really difficult place to come and play. Pitt are very good at home, and I think in the first half I saw the evidence of that. I think from a possession standpoint, I'm not too sure what the numbers are. Maybe 65-35, and I think that was probably a true reflection of how that first half went in terms of how much we got on the ball. That being said, I do think we created some good opportunities. We have some guys who are pretty quick up top and they're dangerous, and we showed some moments where we got in behind. And the sending off, for me, I'd have to see it back. It was definitely not a great tackle, but I think being given a straight red was probably quite harsh, probably a yellow. And then the penalty, tough on the freshman Aiden, who's been immense this season, but obviously his arm leaves his body and the ball hits his hand, and so I can see those being given. So you come in at half time and you're 1-0 down, but you're one man up, and the onus was on us really to generate more opportunities than what we did. We didn't really generate. We're a good opportunity generating team. We didn't do enough of that today, particularly in the second half with an extra body. And I think some of that is on us, and some of that is on credit to Pitt for good defending. They were resolute and limited us in terms of having clear-cut looks on goal. And I don't want to keep going just to bore the pants of everybody. So,
what did you see from them defensively in that second half?
From them?
Yeah.
They had more resolve than I thought they would, and I thought they were decent on the ball, because obviously with 10 men, keeping possession is difficult. But I thought they competed well. Everything that we delivered in the box, not everything, but a lot of times they got to the ball first, and so you've got to win those areas. You live and die in this sport by how you defend one box and how you attack in the other. And I think in the second half they won that box because they defended that box better than we attacked it, and that's the story of the game really, outside of the penalty.
Coach, I want to ask you, in the final 4 minutes, at least you guys had like 3 opportunities, some of them going high or wide above the net. I mean, for an offense such as you guys that scored 17 of 18 entering tonight, how would you describe just the overall effort and fight that your team had to the end?
Well, the one thing I'll never question about our team is their effort and fight. I mean, it's part of our identity. We're fairly relentless with it. So I would have been surprised had we been something to the contrary. It's a lot of hard-working guys, and they'll never give up. They have that mentality. I think we had looks. I would call them more looks than really some of those where I'm going to walk away saying, well, how the heck did he miss that? We didn't really have those moments, and quite often in games we're creating chances for the likes of Alex and Danny, who was unfortunately out today, and Ali Yoon, that clear-cut great opportunities. And that's usually, in most every game we've played this year, we have sliced open defenses and created golden chances. And that didn't happen today. And that's either on us in attack, or it's on them for good defending. And I think more than likely it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
How proud are you of your team's effort throughout the season, and just some of the memories you'll have with this team?
Oh, I love this group of guys. They're great kids. We have a young team. Most of this season we've started, 6 of our starters have been freshmen and sophomore, and that's not the model at Division 1 these days. We just played a team last week, and virtually everybody was a grad student, average age 24, 25. That's not us. Our average age is, say, 19 and a half. And so to do what we've done has been pretty amazing. They play with a lot of effort, a lot of intensity, and also they're quite exciting to watch. I'm a kind of coach, I don't want to be bored when I'm on the sideline. and I haven't been bored. But more than that, they're more than just soccer players, you know. Just watching how those guys interact and how they are in and around other human beings is I get as much satisfaction seeing them how they are as people off the field than what I do watching them in training or in games. So I feel lucky to be around them really, and I was lucky to be able to recruit them.
For the first 15 minutes, it kind of seemed, did it seem to you like your team was the more confident side?
In the first 15 minutes of the game, maybe we do start games fairly well. I would have said, with the odd few exceptions. I wouldn't have questioned the approach to the start of the game. I think they did play with confidence and move the ball around quite well. And then once the game settled a little bit and Pitt were able to get possession of the ball and find the holding midfielders, we had to work a little bit harder. But I think I don't have any complaints in terms of emotionally and physically how we started the game. I think we approached it great and did well within that period of time.
Do you feel for your team, given the nature of the loss being decided by a penalty that some may say was harsh, will be a bit harder to take for some of the players?
I think it'd be hard. I think in the moment everything's hard to take. And last season was hard for me to take because it wasn't a great season, and it took me 2 months to figure out what had gone on. So quite often I think it's trying to avoid those in the moment concepts of what actually happened and what took place. And I think for us, we'll look at the season as a whole. I feel penalties are part of the game. Sending offs are part of the game, and so it's it's no different just because we lost on a penalty. But guys will have high emotions, and I get that because you put a lot into it, and for some people they've played their final minutes at this university, and that's tough for them. But what a great moment. I mean, you're in the 1 or 2% when you're actually able to be out there and put all that effort in and perform in front of a crowd like this and in this kind of an environment. And so if you can't look back and say, wow, that was pretty special, then there's something wrong with you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.